and the way we see things and our relationship with our fellow black person, even though after so many years of being a practice of democracy, there's this kind of deep-seated divisions or inherent pains, jealousy, hatred that drives us along this path. And so as long as we have various different political persuasions, ideologies, principles, it does have ideological or party line, the love, the desire to see the debate or argument that we have, that it is intended for a purpose to build a common good for our people and a generation to come after we are dead and gone. So because of that, instead of democracy being a driving platform that will bring all of us together, that will be able to admit that it's despite that we belong to a different political background, if you say something or you bring a program, a policy that is of good consequence or of good importance to our national development, because of political differences, you will be, that policy will be subject to what? Criticism.
But don't you think,
and by and large brushed aside.
Okay.
So
you think those are some of the obstacles that is preventing us to be able to build the Ghana we want?
So to do that, I think we have technocrats, we have academics, we have people of good
I know we
resources.
I know we've got people that had all the resources you can think of. You got people that have the know-how. But don't you think that one of the biggest and the serious, one of the most between the supporters of major parties, making the national issues appear partisan rather than shared responsibility?
Yes.
And public debate becomes emotional affiliation. So for me, I was looking at it from that angle, that this winner-take-all culture is creating a problem.
You are right. I was going to learn or come veer into that. But then I wanted to draw our attention to, it's like we don't, since when? The intention has been there. And sometimes I think committees have been set to develop, but how conscious implement is manifesto, the big ball that should be looked at is the one that is in line with or in tandem with our national development. Look, America has an interest.
So you believe
whether the public health or the
they have to follow suit. So you believe that the political polarization is one of our biggest obstacles.
Exactly.
What of this?
And again, what you said, the winner take all is also bad. You see, America and then those who have advanced European countries in the democracies, the issue of close relationship or close relations becomes a drawing factor, or become the first consideration of which positions are assigned. So I believe that we are not moving forward because we give certain positions to certain people that are not necessarily based on their merits. And so the functionality and then the actions of such appointees does not enhance our progress, does not inure to the programs of states. Selfishness set in, and when that is realized or noticed, the political will of the appointer, who is maybe the president, because of the personal relationship, the person will not be able to, or the president will be reluctant in dismissing the person. And so before we, and I will come, it will go back to the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta, our former finance minister. Even at the point when his own party members in parliament drew sword against him and pressed on the president to even allow him to resign at the point, it didn't happen. It took time. By which time, things have gone haywire. He left the scene after the economy eventually was put on the emergency structure, the structure going to the emergency. And that's why I'm saying that is one of the examples. It cut across some major political parties that have ruled this country over the period, with the exception of the First Republic, where the president is so strong, so active, that irrespective of your relationship with him, you fear he dare not, you fire you. And see, then subsequently, our political and the people we appoint becomes those we align socially, culturally, and religious backgrounds with, and not necessarily they are commitment, and then they are qualification itself is not the word, but then their ability to perform, and that is where is one of the areas that, in addition to what we are talking about, the winners take all is the issue. Because the problem with the winners take all is this: you begin to look within people that you feel who, when they surround you, you feel secured, you feel strong, you feel safe, you can keep your secrecy. But in so doing, when they also go wayward, it becomes difficult for you to apply stiffer sanction against them. And that is the example I've given to you about our former finance minister. And it has happened over the period. Sometimes when there's a change of government, before you even hear of so many scandals, financial scandals, that has gone on. And Chairman, to be honest with you, Ghana, yet to seek go. Yet to seek go. Yet to seek go. So the question is, people asked, democracy good for Ghanaians or Africa? Or democracy came to rather spoil us? Because people use the process of, and then the factors and the indicators of democracy rather to amass or to do good to themselves and their relations, instead rather than.
Well, but don't you think that is the level? No, the point is that is the level of the kind of democracy we're doing, because it's like instead of doing the transformational kind of democracy, we are doing transactional kind of democracy, where money bags are in there. We buy the positions, we buy the votes to win it up, we pay people to sell their conscience together. You take money from people, and then the roads cannot be done because you cannot ask questions. The moment they win power, they forget about you until another election before they move coming in again. So we are not until we move from transactional to transformational, where it benefits everybody. Because I was looking at this national unity and shared prosperity. How do we build a Ghana that works for everybody? Then we need to move away from that transactional kind of democracy to transformational kind of democracy. Where, because if economic inequality and the cost of living pressures is also one of the barriers, because when people struggle with the daily needs, unity becomes hard to sustain. In the sense that rising cost of living, unemployment create frustration in the system. Now, perception of unequal access to opportunity fuels resentment. This is another thing we should look at. And then regional disparities in development weakens national cohesion. It's also one of the barriers that is not making us to be able to build the Ghana we want. I mean, those are the, and then we have this perceived inequality resources distribution, when it comes to many citizens feel that development projects and the state resources are not very evenly distributed. Urban versus rural development gaps. Look at the gaps in there. Accusation of favoritism in infrastructure and also appointment. Uneven access to quality education and healthcare. Go around the country. You can get good facilities in certain parts of the country. Right? Then the ethnic and regional identity politics is also eating us up as a nation, because Ghana is relatively stable, subtle ethics and regional narrative, sometimes emerging during election or political appointment. That is when you begin to see this. Identity can influence political loyalty. Regional competition for leadership positions, stereotyping in public discourse is also one of the barriers that is also eating us up. Weak trust in institution. There's this weak trust in institution where trust is foundation of unity, and when it weakens, division grows. Concerns about corruption and accountability, like you mentioned, perceived politicization of state institution, because whoever you appoint will dance to your tune. Lack of confidence in enforcement of law. So there's a breakdown of law and order in the system, in the sense that we can enforce the laws we've written. People shouldn't build on the waterways. People are given licenses to build. People are given the paycheck. We go and write stop work. You see buildings springing up. Assembly said we did not permit it. So who gave them the right to build it? And people are dying, losing about 18 people because of flood. We've not gotten to the peak of it. And look at what we're going through. Now look at we come to communications gaps and misinformation. It's also one of the things fighting us as a nation. Social media has amplified both information and misinformation. Fake news, unverified political claims spread quickly. Echo chambers enforces division. Public misunderstanding of policies also fuels tension. Rubber stamp. There's something we want to discuss with the people. We just few people go and take the collective action and come and stamp it on the whole Ghanaian people. But NCCE is not working. Information doesn't flow and then we have this short-term political thinking. Long-term national planning is often disrupted by this short-term election cycle. Development projects tied to political terms. Lack of bipartisan commitment to national policies. Limited community in long-term progress. So once the cycle changes, that project is abandoned. How do we develop? We want to move forward. How do we develop? If you don't go and touch it, because when you touch it, but I always give an example. Look at the motorway. The motorway was thought through by the NDC before they left power in 2016.
You mean the rehabilitation?
Yes, and then expansion at the other end was all figured out by the NDC before they left power in 2016. 2017, NPP thought this is a good thing to do. We walked through it, it was done. Look at the Eurojet project. NPP during Kufuor's time begged this, got the funding, and this is it's a good thing. Let's push it through. This is what we want to see.
Yeah.
But if we keep doing this, you see, the youth frustration and unemployment. Young people form a large part of our population, and the expectation matter. High unemployment, underemployment, feeling excluded from decision-making processes. Migration aspiration weakens national attachment. You see most of our youth traveling out of our system. They are leaving. It weakens our national attachment. So national unity is not only a political goal, it is a daily lived experience shaped by fairness, opportunity, trust, and also shared purpose. So when citizens feel included in national progress, unity becomes natural. They feel excluded, division will grow. And those are the things we need to look at, because unity is not absence of differences, but the presence of shared purpose above those differences. And that is what we need to be looking at as a nation if we really want to grow this country. 0503-715-8638. You can also share your thoughts with us. We are looking at how we can make Ghana work for all of us. All of us. I want to see the Ghana that when your wife is going to give birth, you have the confidence that she will go and come back safe.
Right. But the system is working.
Because the system will work. Not when you go and call the prayer warriors to go on their knees. Then we're going to disturb God.
We have over religialized everything too much.
Yeah.
God exists. But when you go to other places that they don't actually, they're not Christian. Doesn't mean God doesn't exist
no, God
in those
exists.
countries.
God exists.
So as for me, though, when it comes to national and issues that are scientifically based and then scientifically verifiable,
can I ask you?
should not be too much of that of.
No, it's important.
Yeah.
Prayer is good.
Yeah, but then we should not make it as the only answer.
What I'm saying is that
prayer, then we'll be sleeping.
Prayer is good.
Expect that everything will come from heaven.
Prayer will give you the leeway.
That's right.
But you need a human aspect of it. Now let me ask this: are political differences hindering the country's long-term development?
Yeah, it is. It is. And you see, let's before I forget. You've said it all. The various segments and then indicators that you've just narrated or analyzed, just on point. But I am trying to look at a suggestion to some of these issues before I come to you. I am of the view that, look, the time has come for our political leaders to take charge, have the sense of patriotism and nationalism as it used to be during Osagyefo time, so that they will drive and carry the populace along. I am looking at a situation where, that's why I'm happy that this current government, they have foreseen or identified some of the things that we have enumerated this morning, and have taken steps to correct certain things that happens or that we are bound based on constitutional provisions. And one of the issues is the provision in the constitution that when forming a government, majority of the cabinet should be formed by members or should be selected from parliament. I think this current government have put together some committee to look into how to make it a law, separating the judicial, as you have the various organs. The judicial must be truly independent and then separated. The parliament, okay? The parliament must also be seen as such and be separated from the executive. The executives must completely be, so that we will not, when a city government even brings a wrong policy or unpopular policy to parliament, it is not be seen that because some of the majority of people in parliament or members in parliament are aligned with the executives, they will massage the processes to see set policy go through. When we do that, we can have a situation where parliament as a law-making body will be able to do their work and do their work properly and effectively as a check on the executive. And so the judiciary can also act as a check on the executive. So in the advanced countries, the check and balances are very strong. Then when I am moving from this aspect, I want also to see that we make our national development policy part of a constitutional provision. Part of constitutional provision. Said that if you come as a government or a president and you are not aligned to the national development as enshrined in the constitution, you can be held liable. You can be what do you call it? Removed from office. The popular term we call it is give me for the term. A president can be I forgot the term. What is it? What is it? I forget. I'm serious. I forgot. So the president can be removed from office when you go contrary to the constitution.
You want impeachment.
Impeachment is a term. So when a president does not perform in accordance with the national development as enshrined in the constitution, by and large, this will force the hands of a past or any government or president that will come to government to know that these are part of our national constitution, and in violating them has a consequence of impeachment. And then projects that have not been completed by the previous government, it must be made incumbent. It should be part of the national development agenda in the constitution. So that, look, my brother, Chairman L, when you travel outskirts Accra and you see what the people's tax has been used for, that has been left to go waste, billions of cedis, sometimes in dollars. And when we are asked, if this money is squeezed out of maybe the president or the executive pockets, will they sit down and allow this thing to happen? Last time we were talking about Afari military hospital. Money and people's money. Eventually, the people of this country are going to contribute. So always we fetch water into let me say a leaking pot or basket. When you take baskets and you deceive yourself of filling the basket, what do? You are always making sure that the people's money that could be used to develop various aspects, like you pointed out, of the various regions, the various districts are across this country, will be left to rot. And then at any given time, we recycle, go and borrow another money, take us another year to repay. And so we're at one place where we stand. So I believe that, yes, we should segregate parliament from executive. All of them should play their role as in the constitution. Executive should be executive, judiciary should be judiciary, and parliament should be parliament. They should not blame anybody. So at any given time, the powers of check and balances will see it biting, will see it more effective. Do you understand me? And even to some extent, we even suggest we have a second chamber. A second chamber made up of technocrats whose appointment would be largely on parliament. And they, from time to time, Council of State is one I want us to see collapse. Instead, we should come along with a second chamber made of pure technocrats, doctor, lawyer, judges, or maybe a retired judge, engineer. I mean, pure technocrats, scientists. So at least academician. So at least by and large, they are the people who will look into policies that have international effect on the development of our country. And when we do that, you will see that every leader, when you win power, you will see that you don't have that laxity, the freedom to do as you please, as you it satisfied you and your nuclear apprentice. No. Chairman, you mentioned something, and it reminds me of something that personally I have been fighting ever since we came to power. But if I should, sometimes I'm tempted to not to say it. See, we have sacrificed for this party. Chairman, my little money that I organized, I use it in sponsoring my party with the intention that with my background and qualification, tying it with my working experience, among the 100 to be selected to work and support this government, I shouldn't be left out. Unfortunately, if I want to sit here and then say it the way it hurts me, maybe I will say something different that maybe I may be construed to be actually speaking against my God. And so because of the issue of transactional, which you rightly mentioned, our selections of persons to certain positions have been overly become too much transactional, rather than competence consideration and other factors in the qualification. And it is one of the reasons why we always draw back instead of going forward. So it is all matter of issues, as you rightly said, that comes together. That fight is what fighting us. It is all that is fighting us, drawing us back. We move one step, we go back 2, 3. When will you actually make a mark? When are we going to make mark? Thankfully, we have a president called President John Mahama today, who, based on his experience when he was in the presidency in the past 8 years, from 2009 to 2016, his actions and his policies and the steps he's taking today indicates that indeed experience matters in every sphere of our governance, because you could see a complete change of the usual dynamics. The status quo is no more the status quo. You could see that today we have some status quo changed for the good of the people. Look, projects that are being constructed, being rolled or whatever, the people are being asked to own the projects, to see the projects as their projects, report when they see anything that is going on that is not well. So today we have on various platforms contractors that are not doing well on various segments of road. Their feet are being put or are being tested to the fire by the road minister, because he received information and then reports from the various communities within which these projects are being constructed. And I think this is what we want. When the people are made to be part of the governance structure, governance process, knowing that what they are being done, or the constructions and projects that are being done in their communities, it is being done as a result of their sweat or their contributions, their taxes, is part of the finances or the finance, okay? The resources that will be used to finance this project. And therefore, the need for them to see and they own the project and report any things that does not go well. It has made the people today on the various platforms. You could see that people go and then video a portion and then they will report to the road minister or sector minister. This, if it is energy, you see that people will report to the energy minister. Today, over 24 hours, we have electricity light off. What is the issue? Can you find out and see whether it is deliberate or is something technical? And so, from time to time, people now are taking actions. They are involved. Unlike in the past, whatever is going wrong, people turn blind eye to them. Look, Kerr, in just the past 8 years, look, it will surprise you that we will pass by some place that we see that this what is going on doesn't sound like it is not. It's strange, and it will go on over a period for 1-2 years before we will be made to be aware that actually what went on there is not what is sanctioned by government, or government has not sanctioned to take place. Today you don't have it that way, because people have seen that, look, at any given time there are lines, there are numbers, there are contact platforms that people who are in charge of certain platforms can be contacted, and the issues that pertain to that center can be reported to. And so there's a gradual shift from what we used to know and what we used to do in the past. So thankfully, JM, what I want to see is that I want us to see our national development planning being part of the constitutional review. There are so many things that has happened within the constitutional review, because we've noticed that one of the reasons why things have gone the way it has been in the past is a result of what? The provisions in our constitutions, which we think that there must be some amendment. And then we thank our president that this very time around, he actually walked the talk. Committees have been put, Professor AC Kwesi Prempeh and the team, and the Constitutional Review Committee have done its work. And we are expecting, we are praying that in the near future, the various amendments that has been fashioned out will become a reality that will be passed in the Parliament House, so that it become part of our constitution, the mother law, so that will tie us and direct us to do things that will inure to the benefit of our country. Chairman L, a lot of things has gone over the years. We have Yabokegu, we have put monies into investments, into sectors to do things that finally did not go down well with us as a country.
Did not go down well with us as a country. We're live on the studio. 053-715-8638. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also share your thoughts with us. Let's have some conversation with you. You can also join us as we soldier on for God and for country. Hello, good morning, sir.
Mr. Morris.
Hey, Mr. Morris, that's the saying. I'm
a baby, I'm in stone. Nancy, Montagna Mama, the team one with you last night, lies. Now you need thank you. The salary of the front, that I hide no more. Get now one say a prayer, she will have the idea, the sort of must go not off. Pick up it, I the sea and come. Now, the main person we can say to be fun, whether Montagna Mama or that guy leaves not in Hassa. Oh, you can't be. Or catch it, say, and you may be abandoned over twice. And Parano only many about from 24-hour economy. But one can't 24 market. Good 24-hour economy. Because then you say, a human hospital, a CIC, or buy over the was no give, then Parana for 3 times fair. Now by a market, no necessary pushing good food. To be frank, said Masia Pram, a 530. Need you know until open market. Could sell white baby. Now they're 24 hours. I could see market Google. Bon area. I never would go. It will be money or penny. Mama, I thought with done at one. How many years ago? The higher than put the man at the new. Oh, a million more cut is so frightened and air or cut it here who fought have said a good one more than Tom and Penny Mamma by your credit for the room more. A young buyer said, I saw one of the open who gun and a dog. Because 11 years now, the whom you won't kind. In Italy, a baby about is soon a top and not about the control. And so, maybe a line and wash. It didn't know about that. NDC has your own manifesto more via a wood that has yet. nti mo ya de di o mo chi e na bi o wini ana e ba wo o ma fa ma ma ka kire se oba university obefa free nti ma mara ko mo SS na tia e ku fa se akọ SS free o be ko university free e no mi na atoy na me be ko university ma ko 150 million na ko ti obi die 20 million ma na ma sa be gina we do se mo tia fees na se mi ko me class e mo royal ambra mi to bi aya ye ko di ni akoko o ma mpani akufa do tap ni to 6 million na se mi ko to 7.5 o so ma se ye inflation atete ni ma so inflation ye we o se first wo ye ni ye ko dwa so ye to ni ma ni hu first no ko tu pan na se mi ba tra na 1,000 1 million 1,000 fuo and 1,005
Mr.
Mo I'm sorry si atete ni ma so pro mu mu na mo sere e bra nga so
Mr. Morris, yes, amen. I'm sure also. 053-715-8638. I want to issue this disclaimer. Any view expressed by our callers is their opinion. It has nothing to do with the Mega Broadcasting Network. That is not our position. 053-715-8638 is the number. It's also between Afraid and Anope. And Chibi ever sorry to media so. HA Wawatishi. Any other programs about.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Come on, how to say?
Nyamiado mo boga.
Yo, Edamasi, Ibi, Etief Win and Chow. The Chiawan is of the Chiayi. The same Pemisia because and I was someone maybe Yabako, Aklusia, we see a war. San babies from Aklusia. You come as a sorry. Yet Ghana Blasters, send the Mexican in I mean, come Namon Ghana, Ghana, Jinapi. Also, and this is for Grandma, a gem, dated Yassel. No more papa in every Papa, we are the African. Papa, it's just another communication now. Did you come up? Nakum, Namu Yabs, Sapasman means. I feel the man who catching and canceling. The business is a movie. Papa, just a move, Papa, and Yashi. Papa, you have no way. Pierre, your tosso, that I'm saying for body. Ghana, the sea, the young girl I'm saying, yeah, this by you. The billion passage number 2. Yam lecture. The Tiako, a Bunjasu. Katabe number 1, number 2. Just a look at all Kabakam iron because we can quest from our own crap at the Puabu. And then send a money can of Pokai. Most of our countries are over one drop of people in the sun. Come, the man who put your book to a beer hospital was free. No one wants to hear. No one wants to war. Now, no one to war. If you want to one central market, you move one gentleman who is here, who is by a two a Kabachman war, Common Ega, with a seven here with you. So I mean, markets, a bonus of it you. On young control can see electricity in about two. Since electricity in June, come make a new use, what have to open with a real concern with a community and a but you buy some kind now, you go to Boba, you tell me about the Gianni Patterson. Ade, only Papa, Papa, and you soon. Opa, Fracono, Papa Swami, Tessian, yes, so you're so young about me. Minus Mamokai, it's my question. Because mistakes no one of me. Opa, for your open, yes, a free man like you, Siano Musso. Also, what that to do. Can only run your part and this purpose of the Ghana. Yadamasi, don't put on.
Well, yes, yeah, that's the other pay 053-715-8638. And message media some hanging out this morning with Kelvin Abraham Wayo Tete from Upper Menya Cromo. He's a communications officer there and also communication team member of the ruling National Democratic Congress, the NDC, aspiring. Let me keep that one quiet. Hello, good morning.
Fine morning.
Good morning, Avi. Avi Yankwe.
Chairman of Kayuma, anyway, do my from the of any rather saying, no, money come out. I mean, what I think about I will, and you now shall be at the and cannot send a bank of Piaton, and I didn't have to with me. If they never, no man, you don't master. No fight did the roll is many on thing on finding Juma. I mean, come out of me, I don't want to before Qatar. And so I lay out the connect I asked. When you go at it, I didn't know, and you won't. Oh my God! Mo bẹ tiẹ̀ kò yẹ mo ATA. Ibi so, kò má tẹ́lẹ̀ kẹsàn-án ló ń fọ àbámá mu náà ẹ̀dẹ́ nfa náà wọ́n ayé àmà ọ̀gbìn. Hospital ló kọ́ àwọn kọ́ extra sẹ́ ADC ń bí àná ẹ̀yẹ́ wò yíwu. Fẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́ni ẹ̀dá òjòfó di àmà mu ẹ̀nà ti ń kọ́dá. Ó fẹ́ ADC ń yẹ ṣe yẹ. Galamsey yìí à wọ́n tù mú àná wọ́n tù yẹ wọ́n tù mí ẹ̀dẹ́ wọ́n má nsuo yìí ẹ̀yìn fò yìí. Mo máa fẹ́ nsuo táwọn náà yẹ kàn. Prophet ni bɛka no korɛ no obubo obidi no ɔmanfani nanado ɔdi muti ɛne mo nnɛ anɛ nso ehu ayisabɔne na mo dato wɔ no na mo bɛgu aga na sika no wɔde yɛ dɛn ɛmɔ ɔman Ghana yɛka mpotunyuma ɛdi ti aban na yɛ mpotunyuma de bo ɔman Ghana mo fa na mo di yɛ sika mo so mo nyi hwee de mo ɔman Ghana mo kɔ bɔ amena yankɔpɔ ka mo disappoint no ɛna mo di yɛ sika ko to amena do agɛtis for the ɛdi yaba power. Mutu sana mo ma yen e mutu se kan ko boss amna na enye wadiwu na yi hospital no wo ayi ma se an kese se bu ko bi se kan e bi go bi hospital no jadi to alugu dam mo ni fada mo yi no eye o ma peni abegete ba wo laye o se wa tue sika ahi e wo northern to alugu dam mu bi ye tefe NPP ya ka na sama mamu kebi mo ya papa mo ya aburo la trinity na koso na petrol na namso ene wo papa de na de tell ya fu ene ma basa na mo be bi ti o mai na nia eya mi ya we bi ya ba ni se ya papa wa af bi bi ko nya mi ya se bi fa ja na wa no na ni ko tra me bi kura moso mo ba ye na mo be to ayi sugar factory ene wo ba de factory to me ko nya na pata nka mo ko sa project mo be say mo bi to aso NPP for mo mo dey Ghana for mo se mo aso and that the one way to stop the problem to carry fine what just is cano I was so mo say this na for you let it me go back down project afọ one wa ya jada wa no you be fire mo papa you be fire mo dey no is ni ke na you dey ko no ayi say ya ka ya do perfect ya bi ni na tumi ya na mo di a wo ma papa wa sugar factory won say what ya ban pon so kan kan NPP o ma nko ya papa wa ya peju wa peju na any form of sugar factory is that for from me the trade no na flower no factory so ya papa wa mo ya nko ma me na no ko sugar factory no say then 2025 workers asem we that no net they say ya ko won mo ya ma hwan so me see one ya ni see ya project o ba da so me bi pro ma da so factory na mo see ya na ma die no SPP for by abroad ya papa wa ye for 2 years na bi ni for san no ma ni na ho ba ya se ti won mo nya se an se wa cross ta de nya no kasa ba wo de wo so na sa prefer game na mo ye no ntam wa o ya ni wo fika ala mo ga bi tell mo no.
All right, AB. Yeah, that's 0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join us. Let's have this conversation together. Hello. Hello, good morning. All right, so 0537158638.
Yes, sir. Openi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Me pa cheupi yetie o bayini kakra. Na yena yejem fi na yan shada se party ni yakwa ye hunnu se inchina me wa ha eyi wani o me wa ha eyi wani o me wa ha no yen bi ni kasa opani
ba che from
asem nyina e from me bua ke tampon be kasa pretty de me wo ma ti ya yeto
okay
ba te me ten kan bom me te la shibi
Okay, watch it here.
Me pa chao your problem ni issue ni na ye Ghana for ti anye ye ti anye ye say two parties no any day nanka ye timi am perform sa amoma fa ye tempo ama enipa na wo so ye minister MP onu ya pe ni mo de ni be ko school wo abroche na umani de omo bukuru he ko school no na wo se be ba sa na onye school ne wo han onye ni den open first school ni ya fi because ya hwe ni ma obia enka hwe ama ya kasani ba de ba de ko school abroche na on fa kuru ni ya den opanyi ya ti krom ha enche kra na nipa papa panyi wache wo ade na wo ye no enye enkwala ina musa ade na ye papa ne se mi hu ye na a whole BH car with full egum ye sa konya le dem mama so waba biu eni pa ni enche wo ho de wu ye bi aye but it say waba to bibi wo de so ade kro no ye me ko start popro ta de omu bi abro na Ghana wo nyina bu fu wo mo no ni ta abro ni bi ade na wo mo start duru ba bi no wo de finish no mo fere wo no mo say ko start popro omo ye nyema bebre MVP for ni nyema bebre na akomete ma eye bufu da so wo na so mi ni say ye kimi no mo say dibri ka say e di press conference bebre say ye free fi no mo samra o den yo abra asem try insult so pani Ghana for no ye si anye ye ya dwene wo fom ma party mi na chenipa ni mu e ma we si mi gina ha ade ni bra no ne ma ye bobo onhunu on tell you that you that you are going to na dear o here ni yes the Kenya de kakra ya ha na o sika pe they say politics me catch me ma o na go me say o fe ni wura politics ni mu wuram na o de mo anu de na no ye de enu ani o opanyi asem ni ya ye mo bo ase me say radio center e yes the ye be to apa no a naka we mo bo ego mo temu nya mo transi mata ye fa ko street na ke ye ko e no ya Ghana for no ye unje ya kini mu ti mi enwu se MPP dis for ye omu ya kata bebre o parliament omu ye de sa wi a na ye ni omu me na ye o kire o ka Rollins atem se wa ye de ya pe no mu di ni that bi ta na ye here ye kro mu ha wu ya se wu ya ape ye wu ni pa wo ye ya tra o ma Mills president Mills former ni papa say ya tom wa besna be wu ya so ye fa yesu ya de sa na ye nye correct ana party me wu o mu doso Ghana bona ye wu ni ye say he ni wo ono ni makosu abrozi we he be bi enche kura wa de be no honorable ya pe nya ketie be hwe be ma bi a wonambo ma bo bra be brechen me papa me ye get 7 o timi hwe ye nyina kakra a lawyer din ene small boy man mu politics ni mo Kenya mo ye down adenya na edinya to so kunkum na wa share political suit adenya ye friend honorable me chia me matra dem magacha na me pakromo na me chia na makoma me wo na me hwe be ma na ate na ba hwe yakotam na kusa kentia bi na shika na obanye me mase me twato ni enti 4 years bi amo be Ghana ha ama matoka ebi kama MP any minister di nyina obi anye bako 4 years bia eto fanyi ene se ponse na go bechi ni Europe fan ene se tika ni nyina be san ene tika ni be ko hefa 4 years bia mo di SGS ya Land Cruiser be ma tani fa bebrebe we ene tika ni mo kwa na mo bai ada Ghana for wake up eni fa be no ni bu mo kwa bia
all right
MPP ni kwa tie ko ene
up in here, that's 053 motions are setting in. The question I asked this morning, are political differences hindering long-term development? Is a census one? Is it chairman? That was the question. But I believe that yes, political differences are hindering the country long-term development. But the deeper issue is not the difference. It is how these differences are managed. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Because you didn't baby of Refi.
But from Ibrahim Sunday,
Ibrahim Sunday into you Sunday.
Yeah, I son and pay my family no my gun. Number 2, I dear Hammond said, Now same one, no more being possible, my say I had me. She said, no better solid, with some of your not a vigilante group. We were solid or some no at my group of we. Once a look at the 2 pepper spray. But no one wants to say. Now we are just up there by some microphone, only a Ghana security now. Only a handful.
Kantanka
Only a national security, and now we a police, and now we a soldiers. I didn't say a politicians, you know. Omo pine, a man on my way in a possible. And then he almost say, "Any review that a channel one, no matter my solid or mine and cassa." So, my youngest, yen I jet to Mr. Constitution, my Panadi never follow. Yan tea and was say, near Ghana Constitution. So, what this I don't know just be away and I said, be only in Bacasio. Or no, my panel, you my power, and a mount mine and Casamau secret may have bomb mine. And young one Casao personal interest in tea. No, I was all up with boy city, so when we say, I'm going to bomb home. I'm going to bomb mine for days and bomb. So we are my young bomb mine. We are president. Mamma yan no mabisa ti esram ona mo kasa mo no dudu wona telefone no kasa no for man 94 na nya sa e bedru bebe no ya ti wasa empire ho e be ba before ya kasa.
Yes, yeah, Darcy. Have a good morning there. I can do one more call that we can start wrapping up. I go to read my few messages that has come in. Now, my sorry, Jumedia, this is 0537158638. And numbers no. Also bet me a room 1 minute na we see moving so aba near kosa. Well, how political differences can hinder the world. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Minia. Amen.
This are not fair. Maybe I'm very easy ways. Say, Busarman, to Maria, Mr. Morris, that memo is now. Now, Mr. Morris is enough to pass. Now, so we have more good party. Now, over here. Now, I'm bringing my mapa. No one just got. As we have a job, and I will swat fast the being in here. And we say, oh, here is you. And na comprenda wakikubali so kubali hadi mwanzo komina kubafia mwenyewe wetu enka tangu apano mimi ninao mapa aweze gana itabeze bese for sai bese for ili class ujishe nyomo for ni tayo mela ikutanya ibina kwa madia usiku na sofia kana ibinye ya kwa ili kamikata about this transport point. Because says Nagana and then some point on my name and I didn't know this side. Put your graphic which means about Sagrasi. And then take Obama, my big adults. Very good point. And also get it to buy. And bar, who are here so many small. Obama knows that to keep me before it's mama baya mama ke ebe tinkwa na mama o kriya o ba yi kunya to kriya mama gane ka en wa to kunya ko kunya tunya ade ti wa to kriya na ma aba o na o na ye tene en na so pri mo o na wa to ma o ni ka na go ni na ke ta se de ya ene o ba ti si ka te o en ma ya mu yi ya yi kunu sabi yo ya pra ti o ne me ye se and the Americans come on, who sent 10 billion, no, it's a more, no, it's you can say, boy, Africa has seen not all said dollars of one small boys, immediately, over 35 to 40 years, of $10. That I get too much, yeah. Because it's almost too much to get and yet for years now. We have that 10 billion in account, a small boy, immediately, or 7%. How na mo bin o ma bin ma ni ni to ko tan tan ke o shi ni ma be bri ba ni ma o shi de e zero wa na te pra na for ba e du yo because e ku wa do ni so ba ni
all right as our time now you've overstayed you're welcome. Let me run this birthday and pick your final thought. I think this is where we'll end the phone in. My time is up. I need to go. But let me do this birthday And then, okay, 30 seconds, wrap up comment.
Okay.
Whilst I'm waiting for my...
Chairman,
yes, sir.
I think I will respond to one or two
30 seconds.
persons of your colleagues.
You don't need to react.
Oh no, I just want to respond. See, particularly
30
when the borders on my boss, Sami Jenfi. See, if you don't know somebody, don't sit in your small corner somewhere and malign and say things that will verify the person. Honorable Sami Jenfi actually is a future president, and therefore, so far as I sit here and ask my boss for somebody to come on air and say something and go free, okay? If you don't know what business people have done, he's not a small boy. He is of age, almost close to what presidential age. Today in our constitution, we have 40 years. We set the minimum age of 40 years. And sooner he qualifies. And today, look, if this young man he is 40 years today, trust me, some of us will force you to contest as the president.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. That is your 30 seconds is gone.
Yes,
your 30 seconds is
so now I have my closing remark.
The 30 seconds is gone. I gave it to you, and then you use it to go and do Sami Jenfi politics.
Sami Jenfi, nobody can match. It's equals to Sami Jenfi.
So that is what I gave you the 30 seconds to wrap up.
Yes, so that's fine.
That's fine. You prefer that?
And he must go and
okay. Let me do my birthdays. I have a birthday on my desk. This is happy birthday to our rich auntie. God bless you always, from Dinah and Tricia. So they're wishing you good health, long life, and plenty money to our rich auntie. All right. God bless you always, from Dinah and Tricia to you. So this way to say a big thank you to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has been part of today's edition of the morning show. Stay informed, stay focused, keep praying. Join us at the Days of Elijah at 10 a.m. this morning. God bless you. My name is El Samuels, and I hang out with the man Kelvin Abraham Wayo Tete of the NDC from the Upper Menya Krobo. And then I invite you specially to be part of the Days of Elijah, 10 a.m. this morning to 12:30 p.m. And then later in the evening from 6 p.m., we gather again, Wednesday 6 p.m., Thursday 6 p.m., Friday